at Love's Inner Voice. And I'm Brenda L. Balding, the L for Love's Inner Voice. And I have a beautiful guest with me this time, Dr. Munira Zahabi.
Hi,
And
everybody.
Munira is a widely known niche navigator. She assists us young entrepreneurs to find our niche in the world of podcasts, in the world of business. And she's an author of a book called Invisible No More. And there's a very long subtitle, which she can share if she wants to, but I love the title, Invisible No More, because we don't want to be invisible out in the world. We want to shine our light. That's what Love's Inner Voice is all about, is assisting each of us to shine our own light in the world. Munira has guided countless entrepreneurs to discover their niche and transform their stories into an impactful marketing tool. She believes that a clear niche paired with authentic storytelling is the key to business success. Through actionable strategies and tailored coaching, she assists people along the way. And she's going to share a couple of those strategies with us today. So I'm so glad that she's here. One of the things that she talks about in her book and in her coaching is putting your oxygen mask on first. And being a registered nurse for 50 plus years, like I've been, and I still am an non-active RN, I know that it's about putting the oxygen mask on first, because then I can't help anybody else if I'm not safe. So talk to us about how you found this out and what that means to you in practice, Munira, if you would.
It's amazing when you get on a podcast and you're preparing for your talk and wanting to let the world know your message, then something shows up in your social media stream and it just takes you to another world. And I was like, I spent 5 minutes looking at this short video, but what is it going to help me? And now I can join it together because in the video, the woman says that she went to see her friend who was lying in bed. She had gone for a checkup. Her hemoglobin was low, her blood platelets were low, and she was hospitalized and she was given a few pints of blood. Then they realized that she had other issues that they needed to keep her there for more time. And here in the hospital, she can't get off her worry wheel where she's trying to figure out, I have my kids, I have to worry about my in-laws, I have to worry about them. Are they going to be able to bathe? Are they going to take their medicine on time? Are they going to eat on time? The same thing with the kids. What's my husband going to do without me? I have to prepare his lunch. I have to do this. And she's worrying herself sick even in the hospital bed. She tells her friend this. And then her friend goes home and she's worried about her friend. So she calls her husband, says, how are things? Your wife's been in the hospital for almost 2 weeks now. And what is going on? And he goes, everything's fine. The parents are taken care of because we now have a caretaker that's 24/7 taking care of them. The kids have a tutor and they are doing their exams and everything is controlled. We even now have a cook who's taking care of everything else. And here the woman is worrying herself sick, but they haven't told her that everything is being taken care of. But why is it that we have to go to the extremes to then realize that we need help and ask for it? So oxygen masks, even though when we're on a plane, the first thing they tell us is it's going to drop. Put it on first before you help somebody else. But the thing is, we don't think like that. We women always want to take care of everything else first and not take care of ourselves.
Yep. That's how we're raised. That's a lot of us, how we're raised to do that.
Right. And this is our generation. I don't know if you are Generation X, but I am. And so the X's and the Z's, right? But the young folks of today, I see young ladies, they go out to parties, they leave their husbands with their kids. I see the husbands go out, leave with the kids with their partners. They don't worry like we did. We had to worry. We had to cross all our dots, our I's. We had to cross our T's. But as entrepreneurs, we do the same thing. We wait. We don't ask for help. We don't go. We worry about it. We look through a lot of overwhelming stuff that we don't know how to do. Case in point, I'm working with a coach right now who said, you need to create a landing page for this webinar you are doing on the 29th. And I said, okay. So then I didn't know how to, I have a form, I have a web page, but I didn't know how to merge it together. And she went in, she says, I can help you with that. She went in and she created this for me, but I had to do the preliminary work. Well, why don't we ask for help? I was struggling for 2 weeks trying to get this together until I said, I don't know how to do it. And she did it for me in 2 seconds while we were on a Zoom. So my question is, why do we not ask for help? And that is what the oxygen mask is.
Yes.
Entrepreneurs, entrepreneurship is a very lonely journey. It is, because we make it a lonely journey because, one, we don't want everybody else to know, and we are fearful because we come out, we show off as a very successful entrepreneur, but behind the scenes we are actually not that successful, and we are doubting ourselves and we are fearful of our success. So the question is, why are we not asking for help? And why are we not putting that oxygen mask on first? And that was the whole premise in the whole, when we spoke about this, was the oxygen mask is, hey, you know what? I need to take care of myself. I don't know how to do this. Can I find somebody who can do this for me? Or teach me how to do this. Now, this mentor is amazing because she knows what she's a kind of a geeky stuff in behind the scenes. So she helped me. But the fact is, why are we not putting the oxygen mask on first?
So that's a good question. And I've asked myself that many times throughout my 76 years of life. And especially the last 30, where I've been doing a lot of my own stuff. And I've lived alone since my daughter was 24 and she's 49. So, when you're living alone, I was raised the eldest of 7. So you're automatically the caretaker, and I'm a registered nurse. So you're even more of a caretaker.
Right.
And one of the questions that I ask myself is, that you have here is, what do we say to women who feel guilty about prioritizing themselves? And one of the things that I say is, how can I be there for anyone else if I am not well? How can I be there for anybody else if I don't take care of what it is that I need? And to me, that's not selfish, that's selfless and self-supporting. It's the oxygen mask. So tell us about the guilty and the different strategies for today without feeling selfish, of putting the oxygen mask on first and taking care of ourselves.
So I also have a full-time job. I also work, and then I have an hour commute to my job and come back. Now, people will say, why are you doing this? Because, I like people and it allows me to see people outside. Otherwise, I could be sitting here in my office and closed in this world of Zoom and not do anything else.
Right.
So I when I come, like by 9 o'clock, the household here, I've just moved in with my son. And the household here is quiet because the kids are put to bed. The older ones have gone to school, come back and tired, have gone to bed. My son works, my daughter-in-law works. So they are all, even the kids go, but the latest they're up is 10. So sometimes when I'm out and about, if I have a friends meeting or if I have a network meeting, if I'm coming back, the household is quiet. It's like not even
Nice.
a mouse is moving, right? So
Yes.
sometimes then I'm up working on the computer, getting things done for tomorrow, everything else. By the time I wake up at 4 every morning, so I have to, when do I get my 7 hours of sleep? I don't get the full 7 hours, but I have learned to take naps, power naps. So I get an hour lunch. So I take a half an hour lunch. I eat quickly. I mean, not quickly like in scoffing down my food. I eat enough, and then I put down and take a nap in the car. And there's nobody there to tell me you can't do that. But we
Except for
feel,
yourself.
right, but
We
this
do that to ourselves a lot, don't we?
right. Well, yeah, but the thing is, sometimes we feel guilty. Why am I supposed to take a nap? Now, yesterday I was busy doing things around the house and I was very busy. But then I couldn't, I told my son I'm going to take a nap and I couldn't. I just couldn't sleep because I was so wired. I just couldn't sleep. And he asked me twice, haven't you taken a nap? And I said, no, I just couldn't sleep. But that doesn't mean that you don't relax.
Yes.
Yesterday's weather was amazing and it was cooler in the house than it was outside. So I just went outside and I sat there watching the neighborhood kids play and sat in the sun for a few minutes and just relaxed. Didn't sleep, but relaxed. So the thing is, your mind needs to refresh. Your mind is overworked all the time because you have this, that, and the other to do. And as entrepreneurs, you just need to take a step back. The question is, do you know that you don't breathe well if you don't relax? So I
That's
see
why
you
I love
taking a
heart
deep
math.
breath.
That's why I love heart math because it encourages you to pause and take deep breaths.
Well, the thing is, if we don't need other people to tell us to take a deep breath. All we need to do is, oh, I feel anxious. Can I just take 5 deep breaths? And that's less than
Yeah.
30 seconds. Just take 5 deep breaths
Yep.
and calm yourself down and then you go forward. I work in customer service, so I'm one after the other. The customer is there in front of me, all with the different problem that I can resolve in some sort of fashion or ways, which I sometimes say, oh, I can solve this. But the thing is, they come in overwhelmed and their energy transmutes into us and then we feel anxious. Like somebody comes in and they're like, oh, I'm in a hurry. I'm in a hurry. Well, I've been waiting for 30 minutes. But yeah, but we all have been working. You have a number. It'll be called the way you come in. We'll help you, but you can't push me through it. So I either
Right.
tell them, if you're in a hurry, I'm not the person to work with, or calm down, we'll take care of this. This may take a little longer than you are expecting, but I have to go to work. I understand that. Do you want to make another appointment? Because my quality of work is not going to show if I hurry it up. I'm going to make
Yeah.
mistakes.
Yeah.
And so you have to know your limitations. It's not a limitation, it's just like you know how you work. So my thing is, tell them person that, if you are in a hurry, let somebody else take care of you. Let me get you another person who can do this quickly. I am fast, but I'm also thorough. And I want
Right.
to do that. So as entrepreneurs, we want to do the same for ourselves. Or you just take a deep breath and you say, breathe, sir, breathe. You're already here. I'm taking care of you. If you hurry me, I'm going to be making mistakes and we have to do this again. I can't make corrections, so I have to do the whole application again. Would it be okay if we just take a few breaths and let's do this together? And some people will say, I'm so sorry. And they'll step back. And or some of them are just going to be in your face and say, don't you know how to do this job? I know how to do it. You're just making me anxious. But we have a good team. So if they hear conversations like that, somebody's going to come in and say, how about I help you, or she's helping you. Let's just calm down, sir. Or manager or somebody will say, let's just calm down. So the The fact is, every piece of work that you do is going to create actions, or it's going to have its consequences. But the fact is, if you are calm, then the other person will become calm. One example I think about is when you have a crying baby. You had a child, so you know when the baby is hungry, you're trying to do something, they're on your hip, you're trying to do something, and whatever you don't want to happen is happening. You spill the
Right.
milk,
Right.
the
Of
baby is
course.
crying, and it's like you get so flustered. But the fact is that if you are calm and collected, the baby is calm and collected, then everything falls into place the way it should. And that's what I'm saying is, as entrepreneurs, we have to take a moment to ourselves. Meditation, people talk about meditation, people talk about exercises. It's such a big word. It's such an aggravating word for some people, because some people don't have the time, and they think, "Oh, you want me to go to exercise? Really? No, I'm not asking you to exercise like that. What I'm asking you is to just breathe. Just breathe. That's enough. 5
Yeah.
short, quick breaths, or 2 very deep breaths. It does such a wonderful thing for you because it
Yes, it
calms you
does.
down. And the fact is, it allows you to then think about how this person is looking at you. And usually, when a tiff starts, when somebody's arguing with you or something like that happens, it's always because there's lack of oxygen in the middle. Nobody has thought about what they're saying, but if they just think about it, they can make a lot of progress in life.
Yes.
Right?
Munira, you've given us at least 5 tools or 5 strategies just in that one conversation. Pause, take a breath, 5 short ones, 2 or 3 really deep ones. That's being kind to yourself. And it's also being kind to whoever you're with, because they're noticing that you're calming down and that you're breathing, and they'll probably breathe deep too,
Right.
just because they'll do what you did. You also mentioned take a nap. If sleeping isn't an issue for you, take a 1 minute walk outside. Go stand on the porch and breathe in some fresh air. I'm on the computer all the time, and I set an alarm. I have a fun little alarm clock here so that it gets me up and away from the computer, and I can look outside, or I can go stand on the porch or sit on the porch for 2 minutes before I come back. So those are some strategies that you've given us just in that 2 minute talk.
Thank you.
And when we're kind to ourselves, we're being compassionate and kind to others. And I love that you said when you're not breathing, you're tensing up, and that energy is going to be felt by your customer, whoever that is, by your client, by your patient, by who you're talking with on Zoom. They're going to feel that. And it's like, oh, I noticed them tensing up. I think I better breathe, because if I calm down, they're going to calm down. And it works really well. And it's so simple.
Yeah, and the other thing is also give yourself time. You know,
Yes.
like if you, like for example today, right?
Oh
Today.
my gosh.
Today is a prime example. We've had tried to get this meeting on the books for a while,
Yes,
and
we have.
and it's something or the other, and we finally said we're going to do it today. I was
Yep.
I was on the link that you sent me at 20, at 10:23 my time, and I was like, but it's not working. Now I'm aggravated because I want to
Right.
do this. It's aggravated. It's not working. So I send you a message.
Yes, you do.
Then I realized, hey, first of all, I sent you an email. So then the second thing I did was, hey, I know she called me. Let me go look for the number. Thank God I have a history, and I realized what day it was, and I went there and I said, wonderful, I can call her. So I called her. I called you, and you said, I'll send you a new link. Okay. When we got the new link, it wasn't working. So we had a plan B. But the fact was, I was getting aggravated. So I had to step away while you were sending me the second link and giving me the number to think, you know what, Munira, we need to do this. Let's be calm, collected, and cool because we need to get on this Zoom and get this aggravation off the table. So let's get it done. So things like that can happen. You know, aggravation can
Absolutely.
happen at any time. You're
Yep.
running late, but give yourself time. And there are times
Yep.
when you give yourself time and things don't work. Let's figure out what's plan B.
Yeah. And the thing is that we we needed to do this because we set the appointment more. I wanted to do this because I enjoyed our conversations in the past and I believe in your message. And it's important to get the message of, you know, being invisible no more out there, putting the oxygen mask on, taking care of ourselves so that we can be present for others when we need to be.
Right.
And if we're not willing to do that, then we may not, being an entrepreneur may not be the best job for us, and that's okay.
And these strategies not only work with just being an actor entrepreneur, it
Oh,
works in
absolutely.
everything that you do. You have a
Everything.
job. Jobs are stressful now, especially
Yeah.
with whatever is going on around here. We don't want to get into politics, but the thing is, people are losing their jobs. Companies are closing down. Companies are laying off thousands of people. Stores are closing down. So what do people do? And how are
Right.
they going to sustain themselves? So you just need yourself to breathe. I have a friend
Yep.
who had worked for a company for years, and she just got laid off. My daughter, a few months ago, she got laid off after working for 25 years for a company. Why would you do that as a company? This is a loyal employee. And of course, she's my daughter, so I feel bad. But then she had to look for another job and she had to do all of that stuff. But she's younger than I am. But the fact is that people are going through hardship. So the
Right.
only thing I would tell her is I know you're frustrated, but I need you to keep breathing. Just keep breathing.
Yes.
And,
Just keep breathing.
right. And Dory from Finding Nemo, I don't know if you've seen the movie, she says,
Mm-hmm.
just keep swimming. I just tell people,
Yes.
just keep breathing, just keep breathing.
Just keep breathing. Just keep breathing. And breathing consciously. Really breathe. And for me, I love doing what I call a heart breath. I put my hands together like this and I breathe in and I'm creating a heart. And I'm breathing in my higher power, love, light, whatever. And I'm breathing it into my heart and that's an action that takes what, 2 seconds, 5 seconds? It's also a little mini exercise.
Right, right.
And it's kind of fun to do look up at the universe and say, I need your help right now.
And I learned it, and people were thinking it's easy for you to say, but I wasn't like this. I was always on the run, and I see that in my kids because my kids have taken this habit, and I see that in my son now that I'm living with him. I see that with my daughter, and she's got kids. All my kids have kids, so I see
Right,
that. I see that, and
right,
the fact that
right.
they're always like me, and it's not fair to the grandchildren. So I tell them that you have a chance to change. I
Right.
learned this technique from my daughter-in-law, who is a Montessori teacher. And
Ah,
the way she acts with the kids and the way she talks to them is so different. So I
right,
had to change myself to figure out a lot of things, to realize that what I was doing, because that was my bringing up, right? So
Right.
I
Yeah.
reflected everything that I saw as growing up with my parents, but then I saw that, and then the new generation is teaching me something else. And the way she talks to her kids and she explains things to them in a different way. And I think, hey, wait, I've made a lot of mistakes. We need to change. Don't take everything that she's telling you with a grain of salt. But the fact is that how you explain it to a kid should be also explained to you. We never had this new set of training. And also, as an entrepreneur, things are changing so fast. Now, with AI, things are happening so quickly with at the touch of a fingertips. It's so amazing.
I know.
And
I know.
you start thinking about the whole process and you think, oh my God, I'm in this age. And I, for one, my generation has been, I mean, we went from wall telephones, right,
Right.
to these, right, to cell
Right.
phones. And the fact that we went from like cassette tapes, those are so ancient, nobody knows what they are, to from records to cassette tapes, and then from there we had, CDs, and then we have iTunes, and it
Right.
just changed so much.
Right.
So we've gone through a lot of change in our life, and we still see changes happening. So the thing is, if we get overwhelmed, we're never going to do anything. But the
Right.
idea is, you have, as an entrepreneur, you have an idea, go with it. And I was changing a lot of things in my life. I was changing. I don't want to do this. Okay, I'm on this track, but oh, wait a minute, that looks like a shiny object. Let's just revert. No. So the coach I'm working with me right now, I said, can we just, no, we are not changing dates. We are not doing anything. No, we are going with what we are doing right now. We've already done this much work. Go with the flow. We'll take it to the next level, the other side. But if you have a good idea, put it on an Excel sheet. Put it on an Excel sheet.
Right.
Keep putting the ideas, because you never know when you can incorporate it with
Right.
the next thing that you're doing.
Yeah. Always acknowledge your ideas. Don't put them out there, but put them in a storage place. And I love the fact that you said they might be able to be integrated in the bigger picture of the plan as you move forward. We're getting close to the end of our time. Do you have one thing that you would like to share with the audience?
I'm going to ask you what is your daily routine? I'm going to ask the audience, what is your daily routine? How, so if you can document one day how you spend from the time you wake up till the time you go to sleep. What is it that you've done? Every like 5 minutes, go to the bathroom, brush your teeth, woke up, prayed, wrote on your journal, worked on a website, whatever you did, just write it down. You don't have to put it on a calendar, just write everything down. You'll see the tasks that you do. You went to a grocery, you bought groceries, you spent this much time in grocery. Could you have asked somebody else to do your grocery? And figure out where you can delegate some stuff out. If you do this for a week, you'll realize that there are people out there ready to do stuff for you. Yes, it's going to cost you a little bit, but time is money, and you need that time for yourself. I'm not saying do it all the time. If you can't afford it, you can always ask somebody to do it for half an hour. My daughter-in-law is a Montessori teacher. She works with kids in the morning, then she comes and deals with her own little three little ones. So what she does is, well, some days when it gets very overwhelming for her, she asks the neighbors' kids to come and help out with the kids, her kids, so then they can do some homework with her. And it's always true, because other people can always take better care of your kids than you, because they're always in your face. And then she takes half an hour to either shower or just groom herself, just half an hour. And then
Right.
she goes back, but she gets that mental capacity to back. So if kids of today are acknowledging this, then why are we not understanding that we should also do this? So yeah,
Yeah.
outsource, maybe spend 15 minutes. If you're struggling with a website, ask your mentor, ask a friend, ask somebody who is an expert on that software and say, can you do this for me? I'll pay you $20. Some people in other countries are so smart, they'll take $20 anytime.
Right.
So
Right.
breathe, just breathe, take a minute to yourself and put on that oxygen mask for yourself.
Thank you so much for being with me today, Munira. Oh my goodness. Thank you all for being with us, with Dr. Munira. We will have her information for you. And blessings to you and blessings to each one of you showing up today. Be well, everyone.